one, go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our final Help Guys podcast. I am here with my boys, Lee,
Yo,
Anton,
what's up,
and
everyone?
Rennie.
Yo, guys.
So, today we're going to give a summary of all of the games that we have discussed, what we think about them, and how it's changed, and how we compare them from now to back when the games were newly made, when the technology wasn't that really great back then. So let's begin. Who would like to start?
I would say first question that we should definitely talk about. Obviously, you guys will know the games we've already gone through, so we don't need to list
Yeah.
them. But what is your favorite out of all the games that we've spoke about on this podcast? What would you say is your favorite one out of all of them, and why?
Okay. I'll go first. So with all of the games that we've listed, I think the best one that I've seen grow, and the one that keeps delivering stuff, um, is actually probably Minecraft. To be fair, I mean Minecraft on its own, I think I gave it the highest out of all
But
of them.
I'm saying your
Um,
favorite one though. Is your
but
favorite out of all
yeah,
of
so
Minecraft?
in terms of just that rayon on its own is just 9. That's just how I feel about the game.
Fair
But
enough.
the one who I've been going back to, and the one I really enjoy is most likely COD, because COD, either between COD or Rocket League. Because the thing is with Rocket League is I've seen the game from the beginning to now and how it is now, and I actually appreciate it more in the way how the community helps out their people, or how there's different events and you get free stuff with the battle pass. There's a lot of stuff that you can have, and it's not, you don't always have to be connected to the internet with that game. You can always play it offline solo. There's loads of game modes. It's really fun. And the same thing with COD that I've seen as well is that with Call of Duty, Black Ops Cold War, is that when I'm just playing it and I'm just having a good time, uh, you know, I've never seen prop on in COD, and I've mentioned that on the podcast as well. Um, but yeah, that's out of all of them, those two are my favorite. But of course, obviously Red Dead, GTA, and as we talked about as well on the trendy games, it's those two are the ones I keep going back to because I'm generally having a good time with them. But yeah, that's my that's my explanation.
Alright, Anton, you go next.
Alright, so for me, out of all of the games that I enjoy the most, probably I mean, I would rate right now in terms of a game I'll play at the most right now is probably Rocket League, because I've done 130 tiers on the battle pass right now, and that's a game I've played the most recently, and
Yeah.
probably Cold War next because I just enjoy COD in general, and it's just I love all the games here basically. No Man's Sky, it's enjoyable, not great, but still quite fun sometimes. But GTA, yeah, it's calm. I enjoy it a little bit. Minecraft's a game I can always go to, never gets old. And yeah, Red Dead, very good online and stuff like that. Just I like all the games in general. It's just I don't really have a favorite. I kind of like them all in a way. So yeah, I haven't really got much to say. So yeah, next person.
That's the same with me, Anton. I've played all these games. Yeah, they're all fantastic. However, I know there are bugs inside of them. Some of them have bugs, but doesn't matter. We still enjoy playing them.
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite.
To be honest, I feel like Rocket League is the least buggiest game out of all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm
True.
saying. Even if you have an internet connection, it's still a
The
great
only
game.
bad thing sometimes about Rocket League is sometimes servers, but it's not often. It's every now and
Yeah.
then. And
Yeah.
True.
but Minecraft fell off ever since it changed from the Legacy edition to the
True.
it upgraded to the next edition for servers and stuff. and yeah, like No Man's Sky is very buggy. GTA has a lot of bugs. Like they all have bugs, but like I'm not saying like Rocket League doesn't have bugs. Of course it does, but I'm saying it's the least buggiest game there is here,
Yeah, it's true.
in my
Well,
opinion.
it's not nice. Carry
No,
on.
it's like for Rocket League, yeah, it's just the ping that.
But that's not always their fault though. Sometimes it could be your internet.
Yeah.
That's not always their
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah, true. It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was also gonna
what?
mention to wait, boys. I was just gonna mention to you guys as well. For like in terms of just Rocket League on its own, because the thing is what I like most about it. I don't know if you guys noticed it as well, but like the thing I really like is the fact that, like, for example, with Red Dead or GTA or any of these other games, like the community for them is like, you know, they have their own perks. I always see that's with any video game, but I think what's good about Rocket League is the fact that they, you know, they actually listen to people who, who have a problem with the game. Like, for example, you can report someone for inappropriate naming or, that type of stuff, and that's encouraged. And that's what I was gonna say. But go on, as you were saying this.
Well, I was gonna talk about my favorite game. Like, to be honest, yeah, like I don't like the word favorite because when you say favorite, it means like you pick one item, one thing, and that's your favorite, and the others don't count.
No,
Like,
no,
to
no.
be honest, yeah, I love all of them,
Fair
but
enough.
I can't really pick like one.
Oh, okay.
They're all great games, so that's my opinion. I can't really pick one.
Favorite doesn't mean the others don't count. Favorite means like what one would you pick over the rest? That's what favorite means.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like say like if you're at a supermarket, and there's like a bunch of like sweets or something, and you're like, which one would you prefer over the rest? It's kind of like that. Like it's not saying
Right.
like the others don't count, or you don't like them. It's just saying which one would you always go back to, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for me, I had to say Rocket League as well, and the reason for that is because one, it's my favorite game. It's a very consistent game for me. I've always liked to go back to it. I've always liked playing it. I've never really gone, this game's like, I don't want to play this game or something like that. But like, it's just a very great game for me. It's a very simple game as well. Like, it's not a really in depth game like GTA or like Cold War. Cold War is like a very there's a lot to do in that game. There's a lot to do in every single one of these games. But yeah, Rocket League for me is definitely like my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you have a bad day at college or work or anything like that, a good hopping on with a group of friends, like just playing Rocket League is really fun. And especially with games now, like I think the way you're supposed to look at like these multiplayer games is just don't take it seriously. Just don't take it as like an offense, because it's just a video game. At the end of the day, it's just you're there just to have fun, and like because that's why most of us hop on a video game, is because we want to hop on and have a good time. And that's the way how most of us look at it that way, because it's like if you're frustrated at the game, but if because the thing is, most 9 times out of 10, like if you're frustrated with the game, like for example, if you don't score a goal or try to hit the ball, then and you're there and you didn't obviously, if you miss the ball, of course it's your fault, but don't think that like there's a next time. There's always going to be a next time.
Yeah, it's always a next
time. Just play better next time, or just get to the next part.
Worst thing to do, like in Rocket League, is like say if you miss the ball, and like the ball's near your net or like near your goal or whatever you want to call it, and you start panicking, so you just start going for the ball, and then you miss again, then you turn around and go for the ball again, and then that's the worst thing to do, because as soon as you start panicking, everything when it comes to any type of game goes out the window. All you think about is, okay, this is my car, that's the ball, let me hit it. That's all you think.
Exactly.
And that's the worst thing to think, because your teammate could have a better like option to hit the ball and clear it straight away, and you could just come in and like hit your teammate or hit the ball and the ball just goes straight back to your side, or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's not always about what you do. It's about like your teammates and your opponents as well.
Yeah.
The worst
Yeah.
thing to do in any type of game or any situation in life in general is just panic. Panicking is the worst thing, and it messes up everything. To be honest.
Basically, yeah.
The other thing as
Well,
well is just as you said, like just stay calm and don't panic too much, because that's what I was doing when I first started Rocket League. But then I realized like it doesn't actually matter. Like you're not there to just win. You're just there to learn the game and
Yeah.
just play at your best. Of course, sometimes you're not going to play your best every game, but if you're making the effort to try, and once you've finally got to that second part of like, oh, I'm actually doing good now. Like I'll let my teammate hit the ball or something. And that's the
Yeah.
other thing, is like what people don't forget about. And I've also seen replays of it. Like I look at the enemy team and I'm thinking they're all ball chasing, right? And they're all getting into the ball, like getting into they're just circling around the ball, but there's no one like in goal or something, for example, right? Now, in this situation, like, if I see one person going for the ball, I don't immediately go to it because I know someone's gonna, obviously they want to hit it out, right? So I'm preparing myself to go back, because I know that if the ball comes back to our goal, that's gonna be my fault because I wasn't in the goal. Um, but like, it's just a learning curve. Like, you need to like communicate back and forth. It's almost like chess. Like you need to know when the next person's in line, or
The next
where
move.
the next person's going, because you can't just always be ball chasing. And of course, sometimes you're going to hit your own teammate, and that's you just say sorry and just move on. But just remember, just be careful where you're driving around and stuff. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I've got to say with Rocket League. It's a great game, and it's a really like good learning curve if you want to get into like video games as well. It's really good.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next question. Second question of the day, for the final episode is going to be, what's your guys' feelings towards games at the beginning, like so when you were younger, to how they are now? And this could be in terms of like content or game sizes or anything like that. How would you guys, would you say games are better now or back then?
can I start?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, if I'm visualizing and comparing everything, like back then when like the PS2 like just came out, and when the PS3 came out and the PS1, like back like in those days, yeah, the console wasn't that great. Like it was great, but like just like with the chips you put in, like it had less data, and like as time like evolved and technology got better, it got a little bit better. But like I still enjoyed like about how it was back then. So like I think like, it just evolved and got better, and like you could still go back and still play on the old consoles, even though if it's old and it's out of date, but still they're classics. And yeah, so what I'm saying is that I feel like it's gotten better now, like because it's evolved, and like it's just pushing and pushing. It's gonna get better and better as time goes. So yeah, that's me. Who wants to go next?
Rennie, you go.
Yeah, I'll go now. So in terms of just like what's happened in video games, because like I don't know, like to me, it's like it's been a long time. I've been a gamer, and like most of us have been gamers for how many years now? Changed a lot in the day. Like we even discussed about how like storage back then, it was you could play 100 video games on your PS2, and they would never run out. Like you never run out of that simple 8 megabyte like PS2 like memory card. But now it's like every time you download a new game or new patch, it's like you're just there just waiting for it to download. And then because before, back then, games just whatever the game was, that's it. There's no updates. They don't update the game. That was just it. and you just got the full game. But now it's more like, you get the game itself, and then they pad it out. They put it into like a deluxe edition, and they take away stuff from the game itself, and then just supply it over and over again. So it's like, and the other thing I was going to mention is like, back then PS2, like especially the PS2, you just plug it in, and then you don't really need to charge it. But now, considering it's wireless, you're gonna have to charge it, and obviously that's a difference now. But a good thing is that now multiplayer is really good, and meeting up with friends is really great as well. And that's changed over how many years now? But yeah, definitely.
Okay. Wait, who's watching
Wait, he's
stuff?
watching YouTube.
Naz, turn it off, please.
Hello.
Naz,
Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
'cause-
fair enough.
yeah, podcast. All right.
Sorry.
It's all right. Rennie, did you finish what you were saying?
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, in terms of just like, in terms of the from PS2 to PS4, and like obviously just games in general. I think for me personally, like, there's some perks to now, and there's obviously perks from before. Like, for example, how, like, as I mentioned, the storage. Obviously, like with the PS2 memory card, like, you could fit so many games on there, and now you can't on your PS4, because you have to delete a game just to get another game, or and updating games on PS3 was terrible. Like, if you wanted to go online, it just took forever.
Yeah.
And now obviously it's a little better. You can do background downloading, and that's fine. But I remember how many times I just sat in the PS3 and just waited for it to download.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it would just show like 37 updates that needs to be updated. It's like, that's mental. But yeah, I mean, now it's a little better. But I still wish, like, because some games could run, not all of them, but some games could run like pretty well on the PS2. Like, you get the full game. That's the game that, there's no other stuff. That's just the game on its own. But now it's just like they update, they take out stuff from the game, and then they sell it for like, deluxe edition or micro. Like, they do that type of stuff, and that type of stuff is annoying. But yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
Anton, let's hear from you.
But yeah, I mean, in general, old school games, are good for their good purpose. If you buy a game off the shelf, you can play it straight away as soon as you get home. But like nowadays, you get a game, it takes like an hour just to download. And it's quite funny, but I mean, there's pros and cons to each. So I mean, games back in the day were less like detailed and stuff, less content, but games nowadays, like getting updates every week, it's better in that regard.
Yeah.
But games can't be perfect, and games have never been perfect. So I mean, I think it's overall just even. Games were good back in the day. Games are good now. Games are, it's just average for me, basically. Yeah.
If you look at the quality of the game, you just see how much it has evolved, like from then to now.
Yeah, like PS1, like PS4, like PS5 is.
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Like, I was actually gonna mention to you boys, like, because remember back in the day where you only had a little bit of games, but now there's just too many games. I don't know if that's how you guys feel about it, because it's like before, you used to have a certain amount of games, and you'd be like, oh, I want to get another game, but you didn't have enough money, right? But now there's a problem where there's too many games now, and you don't know what to play.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. It might just be me, but like back then I just play whatever I wanted, and like whatever I had. But now there's just too many games now that I can pick.
Well, for me, like,
I
would say, like, as Anton said, like, it's pretty even, to be honest. Like, when it comes to like games now compared to like older like games, the only difference like they have older games is nostalgia, like or like you want to go back to see how the old games were, compared to how they are now. But like there isn't really much you can like say in terms of like old games are obviously better because they had the nostalgia, you know, takes you back to your childhood, the times when, you know, it was easy. But like, you know, now if like in terms of like content and like how the game looks and like multitasking on like a console, for instance, you know,
Yeah, that's
it's
correct.
100 times better now than it was. You know, technology is always improving and it's going to keep on improving. So, in my opinion, it's a really hard question to answer. But I would say they're very equal. Like, you know, obviously, of course, you know, some of the old games are great and they really are like they're really amazing games. But there is some really amazing new games as well, you know. And
Mm.
I don't know, like for me, I would say it's very equal. I can't really say
Yeah, exactly.
because you know I love old games and I love new games as
Yeah,
well.
it's pros and
you know?
cons to each.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but it's like very balanced out.
Yeah, it's true.
Like if I wanted nostalgia, I'd go back to old games. But if I wanted like content, I'd go to new games. 100%.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I was now that you guys mentioned it. To be fair, like if you look at like if you looked at our library back in the day when we used to have our PS2s and stuff, like most of them were like games that we could afford. We could only afford so many games, and like those types of games, you would be there for like days and days just trying to play one game. But like I remember still playing like the Spider-Man game and like the Spider-Man 2 game and just swinging around for like hours and hours. Didn't even do side missions, nothing. I just literally was swinging around. And then there's just moments where like right now what it is like with games, I think it hasn't really like it's still games, it's still still a video game, but what I'm noticing more is just the fact that like VR is going to be very big, like Beat Saber or these types of games are going to be like very, they're quite popular, but it's only a certain amount of people have a VR system, or you know and eventually like it will get better for us, like especially when we see more video games pop up.
Yeah.
But
pretty much.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's always going to improve, of course, man. Like in 10
Yeah,
years
man.
from
I
now,
can't wait.
the games that we're playing right now are going to seem like nostalgia, you know. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
Pretty
saying.
much.
it's
Do
always
you
going to
remember
be like,
like do
oh,
you remember that game Rocket
hey,
League
like,
or something, or
yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
like those types of games, or
Yeah,
you're
pretty much.
gonna remember
You're
like
gonna look
back
back
in
on
the
it,
day.
like even if you raged at like say like one of the worst games you've ever played, and if you raged at it, in 10 years time you'll be looking back on it and going,
Still
wow,
remember
and
it.
Why did
laughing
I do
about it,
that? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So
It's true.
just remember, just take games not that seriously,
It's
yeah,
true.
because why do you play games? For entertainment, for fun. That's the main reason why you play games. You don't play games to win. You play games to have fun and enjoy yourself.
yeah.
That's how it should be, anyways. But
Yeah, fair enough.
yeah, I guess that's it for today's episode. If everyone's done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was actually gonna ask you boys, because this was one of the questions that we put on. Is what was it? It was the so we talked about our favorite game,
Yeah.
our favorite game genre. Talked about why it's our favorite game. The only thing that we needed to talk about was microtransactions and
Yeah, we
the
briefly said
paths.
that, but
Oh yeah, okay.
It's just
yeah,
things to talk
like
about.
for
basically.
And
me,
weekly updates and stuff.
I really, as I said, like obviously content is great. Microtransactions don't really have a problem for me. Like
Yeah, I don't really
I don't really have a
like.
problem with them.
I
Like I
don't
see,
mind.
because businesses that they need to make their money because they're putting a lot of money into the game anyways, like to create
Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, every game has like some sort of pass. Now, well, not every game, but majority of games have some sort of like battle pass or whatever their game is related to. Like Rocket League would be Rocket Pass. It has something to do with their
mm,
name. Weekly updates are great as well. And the thing is, like, I feel like the world's become really demanding now. Like back in the day, yeah, as Anton was saying, yeah, there wasn't like many updates. That was you just bought the game, that's it.
Yeah,
yeah,
if I want
Now,
to play it.
there's updates constantly. People are like more demanding over new content.
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
Obviously, game
Yeah.
size is increasing. That's gonna happen. The games are getting better. The
That's
graphics
nice.
are better. That means there's more like polygons and stuff like that into the detail of the maps.
More triangles.
So
Basically.
the game size is gonna increase whether you like it or not. If you want to play better games,
Basically.
it's gonna be like 100 gigs for like Red Dead Redemption, for instance.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
But then if you got something like The Simpsons Hit and Run, it's not even a gig. So
Yeah, nowhere close to that. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's
True,
gonna
man.
be that way as well. And they can't exactly like compress, right? Red Dead Redemption 2. That would be, they've
It'd
compressed
be
it enough.
impossible.
It'd be, yeah, basically impossible to get it even probably under 100 gigs, to be honest.
No way. Yeah,
So
it's not possible.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah,
that's
that's
basically the
that's really
episode.
it. Thank you everyone for joining us on this amazing journey that we've had throughout these 10 episodes of podcast. Obviously, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to smash the like button. Go ahead, comment any thoughts on the whole series, and yeah, I guess that's it from us.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you,
you.
boys.
So much for joining us, everyone. And yeah, that's it. Hope you guys all well, and we'll see you guys. I don't know when. Maybe, who knows? But yeah,
Maybe.
we'll see you guys later.
See you guys in a bit.
Right.
Yeah, no problem.
See
See
ya.
ya.
See you guys in a bit. Bye bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.